We are here with the William Penn Coaches Show. I am Drew Mason, interviewing men's volleyball head coach Luke Bentley. So to start things off, before we start talking about the season as a whole, can you give us an inside look or perspective on your game against Grandview?
Yeah, we played Grandview this past Tuesday at their place and ended up winning in the fifth set. So really good 5-set victory, and it's only the second time we've ever won at their place. So important for the program and important step for us this year to get another win under our belt, especially on the road in conference. So it's a really good match, and anytime you go 5 with your rival, you're pretty happy to come out on top. So yeah, it was a good night for us, and a lot of guys are pretty excited to walk away with a win up at their place. And like I said, only the second time we've done it, so it was a cool moment.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Coach. About a month into the season, can you give us an early recap of your season so far?
Sure. We started the last weekend in January, so we're a little over a month in and almost about halfway through just in terms of numbers of games and, about 5 or 6 games in conference. And the early takeaway is we're really young, and it's been a roller coaster of a year, and hopefully Tuesday is a good preview for what is to come for the rest of the year, because it's been tough sledding at times with the new group. Graduated 4 All-Americans last year, and it's very different when you're operating with a lot of young guys and new faces. So, but it's been exciting to see kind of the future of the program in front of us. And really enjoyable from my end, just to get a new group of guys in. We had a lot of the same guys for 5 years that we were able to retain and recruit in the first year, and so it's been a lot of different things, mostly exciting and a little stressful at times, but that comes with the territory. But yeah, we've been really pleased with our progress. Not really focused on the number of wins, but more so of what we're doing on the court, and I think Tuesday obviously was a good step in that direction.
Absolutely. You mentioned having a younger group compared to before. So going from a veteran group last season to a younger core this season, has your coaching style changed at all?
I wouldn't say the style has changed. I think kind of my perspective on things has changed. Obviously, the expectations have changed. You can't hold your guys to the same standard when it comes to performance on the court at times when they've never done it before. It's I guess you can put an analogy about, parenting or anything else when you do it for the first time. Like, you're not supposed to be the best the first time you do it. And so these guys aren't supposed to be the best versions of themselves right now because they've never played college volleyball before. So if we can work towards where we want to go, that's the most important thing. So I think perspective has changed more than anything. In terms of coaching style, we're coaching the guys the same way that we have for the last 6 years. And I think what we do on a regular basis has remained the same. Like I said, just a little change in perspective and kind of how we view things. But it's been, to answer your question in a different way, it's been a very challenging year. In terms of having the new faces and kind of blending the old and the new. So it's definitely different for me than what we've been used to the last couple of years. So that definitely is a change. But yeah, in terms of style and how we go about our business, same old William Penn men's volleyball that we've seen the last 6 years.
Appreciate that, Coach. And then one more question. We usually end it on a more personal note for you. Just a fun question here. This is your first season coaching as a husband. How has this season been different, if at all, for you?
Yeah, my wife's over there, so I guess she gets to hear this answer. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm a better or worse coach because of it. Unfortunately, in season, I'm probably not as good of a husband because I'm not home enough. But I think the biggest thing is, intermixing, my personal life, which obviously is her, and the team. And, she's been around for a couple years now to get to know the guys. But that's probably the biggest thing is, them getting to know her and vice versa. And that's probably the biggest change. But on a day-to-day basis, a lot of it's remained the same. And, for the guys, nice to have perspective in terms of, being able to share a little bit of what I get to experience married and having someone else in my life, and a lot of the guys have significant others or they're dating or things like that. So that's some help in terms of being able to share that experience. But honestly, the answer is it's about the same, not a whole lot different, but just more official now, I guess, with the marriage part. But yeah.
Awesome, Coach. That's all I got for you. I really appreciate your time. You can catch the next men's volleyball game at Graceland on Friday at 7 p.m. We are now here with William Penn head softball coach Laura North. How are you, Coach?
I'm good, thank you.
Yep. So first question is, 3 weeks under your belt, could you recap the start of the season for us?
Well, the recap is we're 10-4, so we're super excited. Winning is really fun. We are enjoying the winning. 3 indoor tournaments, so getting 14 games under our belt in February is key. That way, once we get to conference, we don't have to be spending a lot of time on filling our schedule. So that's really valuable. We obviously got our offense going this year, which is really exciting. Had some really key hits. We had some really close games. Beat some quality teams, and I think kind of maybe the highlight of this first bout of games was we lost to the number 6 team in the nation 4-3 and had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning. And last year we played them 3 times and they run-ruled us twice and beat us, I think, 7-0 the other game. So seeing a lot of progress and gives us a lot of confidence that way. So Absolutely, Coach. That's awesome to hear. So with that, 3 weeks in, you've had 3 long road trips with your team. How is the team chemistry, and do you have any fun stories to share from those road trips? The team chemistry is awesome. This group of young ladies, they just have so much fun, lots of laughs. They have a great sense of humor. They tease each other. They tease Coach Katie and I. And I think probably one of the most fun stories was just an extra inning win, and the girls are kind of crying, and we're just laughing and crying and everything at the same time. And it was just a really cool moment for our team. And we had some trouble with our bus in Chicago, and those things are frustrating, but we make memories that way, and so it's lifelong memories. And so buses always are fun, whether it's your driver or the parking lot or breaking down or whatever that is, sleeping on the bus. So we've definitely had plenty of those opportunities to make those memories.
Absolutely. So, Coach, looking into the future a little bit, with the weather warming up, how excited is the team about getting their outdoor season started and potentially getting some home games coming up in the future?
Yeah. We're transferring to, transitioning from indoor tournaments to being on dirt, being outside. Hopefully next week we can get out and get on our field. It's drying up pretty good. We're going to be in Arizona for a week and get 10 games in over spring break, and that's always a really fun trip for our team and our families, and good for team chemistry and everything. It's a tough week. Like I said, we played 10 games in 6 days, but it's also really fun. And then we get back and get right into our conference schedule, which we're really excited to start. The Heart of America Conference is arguably the best conference for softball in the nation, and it's just really tough top to bottom, but we feel prepared and like we've got a chance to finish really well this year.
Absolutely. So going from indoor to outdoor, how is that transition for you? Is it a struggle? Is it an advantage? What do you think?
I think it's mostly mental. We're really fortunate that we have the PAC, our indoor turf, to prepare us for our indoor tournaments. But then, half our conferences also have turf fields, and so we have to be resilient and be able to play on both. So I think it's just, staying with your fundamentals, fielding the ball, and then also just that mental toughness of, and reps. Hopefully we can get out and get on our field a couple times next week and get some ground balls in. We've got one practice in Arizona before we start playing, and so it's really just, everybody in the Midwest is in the same boat unless you do have a turf field. So we're just, just got to have some mental toughness and some grit and get the job done. So, it's nice to get outside though, because, we all need that vitamin D in the sunshine. Yep. So.
Yeah, so one last question for you. You guys have had a really strong start to the season. It's awesome to see. Have your goals or expectations been revised at all through this strong start?
Yeah, I think the girls are now expecting to win when we set foot on the field, which is something that we've been talking about not assuming you're going to win, but expecting to win every time we go out. And like I said, the quality wins that we had and even the quality losses that we've had so far have shown that we can play with the best teams in the nation. So I think those have always been our goals. So maybe not a revision of those goals, but maybe the reality of meeting those goals has been really important to our girls, to play with confidence, to expect to win. And I think instead of maybe our goal of making the conference tournament, maybe looking for something a little bit more. So
That's awesome.
And maybe the reality of that is within reach. So.
That's awesome, Coach. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for being on with us. You can catch the women's softball team at home Tuesday at 2 and 4 o'clock versus St. Ambrose. We are now here with the new women's head basketball coach. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So just to start things off, congratulations on getting the new position as the head women's basketball coach at William Penn.
Appreciate it.
So the crowd seems to love you, Coach.
A
So
little bit. Got some friends over there, so.
tell us your feelings on getting this opportunity.
Honestly, I can't thank Alicia and this school enough for giving me the opportunity to be the women's coach here. I've been here the last 4 years and been through a lot. But one thing I do know is that I love the coach and I love building relationships with girls. And I think at the end of the day, this is a place that I can win, and I can develop these young people into not only good basketball players, but future doctors, nurses, coaches, and that's what I'm most excited about. I got a ton of sisters back at home, and so now I just got even more, and I get to teach them how to hoop and be good people, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely, Coach. That's awesome to hear. So you were the interim coach for about the last 2 months. What did you learn as the interim coach that you want to take into being the head coach at William Penn?
Well, one thing I learned is that I can't see everything. As an assistant, I could, I watch off the ball and watch a lot of stuff. And as a head coach, it's like you're trying to watch everything, but you can't. But one thing I learned is that trust the kids. There's so many times, like our point guard this past year, Mariah, I would call a play, and then she's like, oh, I think we should run this. And then her play would work a lot better than what I wanted to run. So just learning how to trust the players. And when I was a player, I was always a coach on the floor, and I could see the defense, and I knew what was next, and I watched a lot of film. And so just trusting the players, and you guys will get to know me and learn that that's how I'm going to be. It's a player's game, and I think coaches get in the way sometimes of that. Let your players make plays, and so that's kind of how I'll be, and that's one thing that I learned is that stay out the way sometimes and let your players do what they got to do.
So going off of that, what is your philosophy of coaching basketball?
So my philosophy, I've been asked that question the last 24 hours a lot. And honestly, my main answer to it is that, when I get the stat sheet and our grad assistants, Jocelyn Herbeck and Kenny Younger over here, the first thing I circle is assists. And so my philosophy is you got to share the basketball, and that comes from practice and preparation. Also, too, mixing it up on defense, pressing, trapping. That's kind of going to be my philosophy, both offense and defense. But I got one rule, or two rules, I guess, as a basketball coach is be a good person, be a good teammate. If you do that, the rest of whatever's going on the court will take care of itself.
Absolutely, Coach. So this is the first time people are seeing you as the head coach for the William Penn women's basketball team. How would you sell a recruit or someone outside of the program on William Penn basketball?
Well, I'll tell you this. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. We're going to play really fast. And I just kind of told you, mixing up defenses. I want to play a lot of girls. I feel like if we do that, we'll have the advantage. I think, too, I'm a big Princeton offense fan. A lot of four out, one in. Got to have a really good post player that can pass it, dribble, shoot it. And so with that, I would tell girls, hey, there's a lot of opportunity, one, to come here, right? We're losing a lot of seniors, but playing this style, you gotta have a lot of girls that can do it. And so when I played at Mount Mercy, which people are gonna be mad that I brought them up, but we led the country second in the country in scoring, first in the country in made threes and attempted threes. And so I want to get a lot of threes up, but I want an offensive rebound like crazy as well. And so if you want to get up and down and trap and make it chaotic, you should come play for Coach Bedford for sure.
All right, Coach. So I'd like to end it with a personal question for you, a fun question. We saw on your Instagram you're the #1 Oklahoma football fan.
That's right, Boomer
so
Sooner.
Who's the best player to ever be a Sooner? And I'll tell you, I'm a Browns fan, so there's only one right answer.
Baker Mayfield, not even close. You can literally, I don't know if this camera can catch this, but I have it literally as my screensaver. Baker Mayfield right there, Heisman Trophy winner. So, yeah, that's a great question.
Perfect, Coach. That's how you know ball if you're a Baker Mayfield fan. So I really appreciate your time. You guys can catch Coach Bedford and the women's basketball team next season as your new head coach.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
And we are now here for our final interview with women's head coach for the William Penn wrestling team, Jake Cadle. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
So starting things out, going into the postseason, the team is wrestling very well. Talk to us about what you're expecting for this weekend in the Hart tournament.
We'll kind of see what happens, but I think just having our girls go out and wrestle to the best of their ability, and good things will happen. But I think the big thing is just staying healthy and getting to that point in time, and just letting their wrestling kind of speak for themselves. But they've been putting in the work, so I think they'll be ready to roll.
Absolutely, Coach. So we've seen you've had a lot of success at getting your teams to peak at the right time. What's your secret behind that?
I got a really good assistant coach. He does all the work for me.
Awesome, Coach.
But no, just keeping it fun, obviously. The energy levels have to be exciting there kind of at the end of the year. Everybody kind of knows what they're looking forward to. Just they know it's the best time of the year, and that's kind of what we've been talking about the last couple days. It's the most exciting part of the year is coming up, and we've made it this far, and so we got to take advantage of that. And so just doing everything we can to keep them excited and bodies feeling good and ready to rock.
All right, Coach. So you added several very talented individuals at the semester. How does that alter the team chemistry for the better?
Yeah, that's a good question. I had a few people ask that as well, but it's been pretty dang good for our room. Just the individuals that we brought in were super high level, and they're all very talented, and so it's been very good for the room. Just elevates the room where other girls on the team can kind of see how hard these other girls train that are at a high level, and it just kind of elevates the room. And then it's good for our girls to get better practice partners and looks in practice and things like that. So it helps them peak a little bit there at the end of the year too. And so overall it's been really good for us, and you just never know what you're going to get. You never know if that's going to be the case where it hurts the team, or some girls are maybe down because they think somebody's going to take their spot or something like that. But we haven't had that, so that's been exciting. They all know that it's there to make them better and things like that. So it's been good so far.
So going off that, when you have a room full of studs like you do, how do you coach that from a day-to-day practice-wise? Are you all over the room? Are you more focused in one spot? How do you control that?
Yeah, there's a blanket approach, obviously, to practice where everybody's got to get good at the basics. And so we put a lot of emphasis on individual drills and focusing on what they're good at in those individual drills. So that kind of takes care of that, and then allows you to kind of maybe focus on other girls that don't come in for those individual drills during practice. So a little bit of that, but I mean, everybody works hard in the room, so it's just kind of more if the girls have questions, you kind of help over to that side of who's got questions. So it's worked pretty good so far.
Absolutely, Coach. And one last question for you. Like you've seen from the last couple interviews, we like to end it on a fun, personal note. So we know the wrestling season really never ends with off-season stuff and tournaments in the summer, but what is something you're looking forward to doing once the William Penn season ends?
We're looking forward to some golf.
There you
some
go.
Warm weather, some golf.
You got a good golf game?
No. That's why we practice, though. You just get better. We got these golf simulators here.
Absolutely.
Helps your golf game in the winter, so you're never super rusty.
Absolutely, Coach. I really appreciate your time. You can catch the William Penn women's wrestling team this weekend at William Penn in the Heart of America Athletic Conference tournament.
Thanks.